you start off with the fourth century church father Athanasius on the incarnation of a Christian classic. It's read widely by Catholics, Protestants, Eastern. I've never read this, so maybe talk about this a little bit.
Oh,
Maybe I should read it, judging by your reaction.
you gotta read it, Craig. It's a great book. The section that I focused on in the book was more about what he had to say about the demons, right? And so for Athanasius, especially when he's arguing against the Gentile pagans, he's saying that Jesus has defeated those powers. He's defeated the demons. He's defeated those idols that they worship. And he says the Gentiles, quote, were serving idols and offering sacrifices to demons. And while they were doing that, nothing could wean them from their warlike spirit. But, quote, since they came over to the school of Christ, they have laid aside their murderous cruelty and are war minded no more. And he then quotes Isaiah 2:4. I've got a piece about this you ought to read if you have it. It's in Plow. It's called How Do You Know a Christian? And what I do is I point to the way Isaiah 2:4 is used, and Micah also, because it's the same passage more or less. This idea that changing swords into plowshares. In the early church, that is used as an evidence that Jesus is the Messiah, because they say, you know how we know that Jesus is the Messiah? Because Isaiah and Micah predicted that when the Messiah came, the nations would beat their swords into plowshares. And Christians from all over the world do that. They put down their swords, they put down their weapons, they join each other in peace, they refuse to go to war. Now, there's two potential implications for what it means when Christians don't do that. If you take that argument seriously. One is that either Jesus isn't the Messiah, or two is that they're not really Christians. And so I'm I, I'm inclined to be a little more charitable than that, but I'm interested in thinking about the way that what that argument is pointing to and trying to feel the weight of it as we're reading the church fathers. But for Athanasius is just, I think, really seeing that because Jesus has freed us from the demons, instead of fighting each other, he says, quote, we take up arms against the devil and the demons. Now, what kind of arms? Are they swords? Are they guns? Well, no, as the song, I think it's the ballad of George Fox, who was the one of the founders of the Quakers. In the song, they say, "If we give you a gun, will you fight for your Lord?" And the answer is, "But you can't kill the devil with a gun or a sword." um, and that's what Athanasius has in mind. But yes, but so yes, Athanasius sees us as having been freed from those demons, and that means we don't go to war anymore. That means those nationalistic identities that were so important, that we're so willing to kill for, don't matter in light of who we are in Christ.